The initial image is just kind of scanning up the top from the cloud background, kind of faded from bottom to top. And then it's just a matter of starting one of these pieces with a rectangular shape, a rounded rectangle, making the inside panels, kind of illustrating the shadow, making it multiply so it goes beneath it, and then just duplicating these to stack them one on top of the other till you get to the top piece, which has a guardrail as well as a different design at the top. So just using the basic beginning parts to put in some of the decoration on the facade, flipping that to build those panels. So you have two in the middle section, and then these arches that go in the middle on the top. So once you have it all placed together, just kind of realigning some of the shading, putting the top together, take the whole image and just group it together and just set it off to the side so you can do some of the modifications. The transform tool is under the puppet warp tool, so you have to reach it out, but the first one is just to arch warp it, and that'll get you a little bit of the bend of the perspective. And then using the transformation tools to make a copy, take a look at the scaling tool, just kind of testing it out. It scales it to the size, lets you rotate it. It does give you a center for rotation, but the rest of them, they're all on the corner handles. Duplicating it again, trying with the shear tool, and that just grabs from the center or the side panels in the middle point. There's a midpoint that you can modify to change it. And the same with just the rotating all the way to get the image. You can drag it across the top to flip it, and so you have the shadow on the opposite side, so if you have an illustration that's taking place that way. And then the perspective tool lets you take 1 point perspective on all panels, so it gives you that selection. And then just the final piece, just kind of setting them across to rotate it. Here's the distort tool, which is the last of the tools, and that allows you to change it. So trying to make yourself a composition, come back and just show you the background established on the top there. So variety to it, but then here's an example, just having some of the clouds in the background, taking the image that you have and just putting a random rectangle behind it with a blue gradient, or however you want to make the sky, and then using the blob brush tool with a little bit of a gradient to make the clouds, and then selecting them with the direct selection, some on the bottom part, just to change the blur in the value. Then you can go back up and change some of the values as well as in the location at the top. So it'll give